components to this particular journey of reclaiming freedom of spirit. And I think these are universal. So the first component, which I think is the one that is the key to unlock the ability to even start on the journey. And that first component is where we say we actually own the fact that we have, to some extent, self-suppressed our own freedom of spirit, that we have, to some extent, self-isolated ourselves from our inherent freedom of spirit. Now, why is it important to do that? Well, the reason it's important to do that is because if we don't, then we don't have access to the inner resources required for us to reclaim and celebrate and manifest and express our full and true freedom. Because we're working without the full information. We're working without the full command of our toolkit. There's something remarkable that happens, and I'm sure you've experienced this at some point or another in your life. There's something remarkable that happens when we look at a situation that we're in that may be less than ideal, less than optimum situation or a set of circumstances, where we are able somehow to recognize how we have contributed ourselves to that taking place and that occurring. When we're able to do that, when we're able to move past any self-criticism for that, any self-blame, any wallowing, as well as noticing that, that gives us a key to unlock the door, to step on the path to resolving whatever the situation is. And that is much more self-empowering than analyzing the external factors that have helped bring about that situation. Obviously, we can't ignore the external factors. So let's say you grew up in an oppressive family culture. Let's say you went to a school with an oppressive culture. Let's say you were particularly hesitant and passive about asking for what you wanted. Maybe you were overly self-sacrificing when you were younger, and perhaps even now. Maybe there's all sorts of things that may have been happening or you may have been encouraged in you by external factors. The truth is that nevertheless, the way you responded to that is all you. The choices you made are all you. The adaptations you made, the particular brand of conformity that you did is all you, regardless of whether or not you did it consciously. And I'm here to tell you that most of it you couldn't have done consciously because you were very young, very young. You were still trying to work out basic things like, how to make a friend, how to do the hopping, skipping game without landing on your face. All these things we're learning as children, which are deeply and profoundly significant and important. Things like being conscious about our own self-suppression is just completely outside of anything we can even think about. So it's natural that we will do this. So anything that you can do in your life that helps you to recognize ways in which you may have self-suppressed your own freedom of spirit is the first step on the path. The second step